Hello everyone, this is CV. I hope you're fine. Last week I was a little unwell and hence the delay in uploading new videos. Today I will take you to yeah, I'm okay right now. I heard you. Yes, I'm feeling better. So I thought I will do a video and feel even better, and that's why this video. This is about the book which I recently read, which is called The Atomic Habits by James Clear. Okay, James Clear is the author's name. James Clear, and okay, it goes like this: tiny changes, remarkable results, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ways. Sorry, bad ones. Yeah. So, this book is about all of us, any of us who have issues with creating, nurturing good habits as well as breaking bad habits. I know this is something all of us face in our life. We want to do certain things, but we are not able to do. So every new year we find a resolution that January 1st onwards we are going to do this, but then again we don't end up. I mean, we don't do that. So this book actually gives some scientific evidence based ideas about how you can actually create new habits, which is good habits, as well as break bad habits. So James Clear talks about 4 laws. Okay, so and I'm going to explain all the 4 laws, and also I'm going to talk to you about 2 additional interesting tips which I found from this book. There are more tips, but I thought I will limit this video to 4 plus 2. Okay, so let's start with the number 1. So the first law of habit change is what James Clear calls as make it obvious. Make it obvious. Yeah, make it obvious. Make it clear. That's what he's telling about. So unless you are clear about what is the good habit that you want to nurture and what is the bad habit you want to lose, you cannot do anything about it, right? So if you want to nurture physical fitness and you want to, let's say you want to exercise daily, make it very clear that I want to exercise. I want to ensure that I want to exercise at least 4 days in a week. That is clear. And for how many hours or how many minutes? So you can say that also, if you can make it even that way. So make it very clear. Use a habit scorecard. In fact, author has a website, atomichabits.com, where these kinds of habit trackers and cheat sheets and everything is available. If you want to actually use this habit tracker, you can do that. Okay, and in fact there are several mobile apps as well which provide you these kinds of tracking things, right? So that is the first one. First law, make it obvious. Now come to the second law. Second law is make it attractive. Yeah, each of your good habits, or whenever you do a good habit, whenever you accomplish certain things, you should feel happy about it. So in order to feel happy about it, obviously that should be an attraction. There should be an attraction. It should feel that there is something good in this habit. So there should be a temptation to actually pursue this good habit, correct? So use temptation building is what James tells us, the author tells us. Pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. Okay, so sometimes one more make it, in order to make it attractive, one more idea is to actually have buddies or a group of people who are in a similar path, and you can get a motivation and support from them. When you see the other person also getting up every day morning and exercising, you also feel that yes, let me also do it now. So that is second one, make it attractive. And third, make it easy. Third law talks about making it easy. Okay, now don't make a habit which is very difficult. Let's say you are starting off by thinking, okay, I want to run a marathon. Of course it's nice. I want to, let's say you are telling, I want to run 5 kilometers or 5 miles every day. Of course it sounds interesting, but unless you start with the first step, or probably even before that, unless you tie your shoelace, you cannot run 5 miles, right? So make it easy. So reduce your habit into further smaller tiny habits. For example, you can decide like this: every day by 6 p.m. I will tie my shoelace. Between 6 and 7 p.m., let's say, I will tie my shoelace or put on my running shoes and start running. So be it 5-minute run or a 10-minute run, you make sure that since you have worn your shoes, you better run, right? So that is a habit which you can nurture. So that is what the third law talks about, make it easy. Another thing is make it visible. For example, If you want to read, for example, you want to read daily at least 5 pages or of a book, okay, that is a habit which you want to cultivate. Or you want to read a weekly one book. How do you nurture it? Very simple. Keep those books around you wherever you are. Okay, that's what I do. So when I want to read different kinds of book, people always ask me, how do you read so many books even despite all your busy schedule? So what I do is, everywhere, wherever I go, I carry some book or the other. And whenever I get even 5 minutes break, I start opening it and I start reading it. Okay, it's a good way to even distract from unwanted questions from others. Jokes apart. Now, making it easy also, let me tell you about the one more tip. I said 4 plus 2 I'm going to talk about, right? 4 laws plus 2 tips. So the first tip is actually connected to the third law, which is the 2-minute rule. Okay. So 2-minute rule goes like this. The 2-minute rule is basically talking in the earlier case of tying your shoelace is a 2-minute activity. So your main habit of actually running a marathon or running 5 kilometers a day, if you are comprising or decomposing it into small thing. For example, if you want to clean your house, of course, clean your room. This is a tough tough habit. Let's say you're fixing every Sunday 2 hours I'm going to clean. Now I know, and on that Sunday itself you will feel very difficult and you want to lie down and sleep. So what you can do is, instead of keeping it for the Sunday, you can do it every day, probably a 2-minute activity. So I will clear up the socks which is lying on the floor, or I will clear up the books on the table. I'll clear up it up in 2 minutes, in 2 minutes, in 2 minutes. Whatever you can do in 2 minutes, you just do it. So that actually becomes a habit. So that's the third law. Now let me take you to the fourth law, which is make it satisfying. Okay, what is satisfying? Satisfying means whenever you finish doing a good thing, whenever you are, when you have done a good thing, or when you have a good habit expressed, what you have to do is to reinforce yourself. Give yourself some kind of a reward, some kind of a, make it attractive, make it satisfying, make it, reinforce it with some kind of an additional bonus, which probably you have to decide what it is. For example, you decide to stop smoking or drinking for a week, okay, and you achieved it. Let's say you achieved that goal. Obviously, you have to give yourself some kind of a treat. Now that treat can also be a motivation for achieving that, right? So make it satisfying, that when you complete doing this task or doing this habit, you reward for yourself. So that is what James Clear talks about, making it satisfying. And one more thing, use a habit tracker. That's what he talks about. Habit tracking is very important. Unless you track, you cannot reach where you want to go. If you miss the tracking, then obviously it is not going to. So one thing what I do, like for example, I track my daily diet using an app. Okay, there is a mobile app which I track my daily diet. However, sometimes I miss tracking it. So what I do is, I have made it a ritual to track my food before I have my breakfast, or maybe before I have my dinner that day. Okay, so dinner or breakfast, when I'm sitting or before eating, I'll track my diet that day, and then only I have my food. So that is a habit which you can track, do. So yeah, so that's it. I think I've covered all the 4 laws and one tip, and there is one more tip I just spoke about, right? So that tip is actually connected to creating new habits, or even breaking bad habits. And it's called Goldilocks Rule. Okay, Goldilocks Rule. Now, what is Goldilocks Rule? Goldilocks Rule says that the human brain actually can, we actually love challenge, and that also only within certain optimum level of difficulty. So imagine if you are a tennis player and you want to play tennis. If you are given a 4-year-old LKG student to play with you, you won't find it interesting, because it's it's too less challenging for you. Whereas you are given Serena Williams or somebody of that sort, I'm sure it will be very challenging for you, and you will not perform to your best, and you will quit. So it's called, the human peak performance is possible when you are at the optimal level of challenge, right? So Goldilocks Rule simply says that you have to identify that level of challenge which is not too hard but not too easy as well. Okay, so when you want to actually break a bad habit, or when you want to instill a new good habit, please ensure that you apply the Goldilocks rule and make sure that you don't set too difficult or too less goals for yourself. Okay, so that's all. I think this video has been quite in some way useful for some of you. Probably many of you might have read about this book, or rather, read this book, or even learnt about this before. But I thought this is a nice time to actually talk about this book, because everybody is in the lockdown, and this is the time when we can actually inculcate good habits for ourselves, right? So use the time wisely, and I'll see you in the next video. And yes, if you want to buy this book, definitely I will share the Amazon purchase link into this in this video. You can go there and buy the book. And yeah, that's it. So I'll see you in the next video. Do subscribe to my channel. These are very amateur videos. I know I'm just shooting it on the mobile, but I hope you will enjoy the content what I share. And do share to your friends if they are interested in these kinds of books and information that I share. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye. This is CB signing off.